Welcome back once again. Hyra Studios is here with another patch notes. It's 4.10, or 4.10 I should say, is now live, or it will be in a matter of a week. So without further ado, we're going to crack things on straight away. We have a lot to kafefe today, just to be clear. We'll start things off with skins, and we're going to start things off with the Seductress Darji skin that's going to be available in this patch. 50s style for all you people at home that are into the 50s sort of thing, and for me too. I can imagine where I want to put those legs. That skin will be in the patch, and we'll be coming to that a little later on, and you'll be able to see in-game footage of what that skin looks like, and for all the future skins too. Talking about future skins, next on the list, the front line looks a lot scarier this week because the Vanguard Hercules is going to be available for you guys to own at home as well. More information on how to get hold of this skin will be revealed later on in the show, alongside in-game footage of it as well. Not only Hercules, and the next up, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Rama. It's Rama. He is a superhero. The Marksman Rama will be available in the next patch, as will fatalities are really coming your way this week. Yes, Ravana is getting a new skin. The Eliminator Ravana will be available for you guys too. And not only that, if you want a little bit more in the skin department, Death is here. The Poseidon Abyssal Sorcerer skin is the other skin that we'll be revealing today. You'll be able to see all these in-game a little later on today with our usual artists to break down exactly what they think about them, and also the VGS voice packs for you guys and how you can get hold of those on top of that. But not only that, this patch we have a little bit extra for you. The latest adventure is on its way, and by the name of the patch notes today, 4.10, you'll get the idea that the trial of King Hercules is on its way. And that is what we'll be looking forward to a little bit later on. But for now, it's time to move things along swiftly. I'm glad you tuned in early because we're going straight into patch notes. I'm going to read them all out to you, and then we'll be bringing in Pompon on to break a couple of them down. So straight out the box, we're going to go straight to bug fixes for you guys at home. There's no lower third for this bit. You're just going to have to listen to me. Ammos and Carb Stinger changed radius to range for the description. Bellona Bludgeon, which we'll repeat a little bit later on, I'm sure. Updated description to state basic attacks from Bludgeon only benefit from 33% lifesteal. Jing 10, Sky Cutting Axe fixed an issue where this ability was providing incorrect protections. Darji, the 1000 Cuts, we fixed an issue where the ability would gain invisible effects. And Trickster Spirit, we fixed the description to state the correct mana cost. Combacana as well, we removed the banish tag so it does not deal damage until the hit lands and should not create a knock-up that hits other gods when the target lands. So that little combo issue that you guys are having has been fixed. And finally, Cousinbo, the Nene Kappa, we fixed an issue where the Nene Kappa would have very low health. Next up, items. And for this bit, you can follow along at the bottom for you guys at home too. So if you're tuning in and want to know all the changes, these are them. Starting from the top, we've got Bracer of Undoing is going to be the first one. Bracer of Undoing, we're going to increase the recent damage loss time from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. But not only that, on the Bracer of Undoing, we're also going to be hitting the upgrade as well, where they decrease cooldown from 120 seconds to 100 seconds. But not only that, the upgrade will now as well increase the amount of health and mana you restore. It used to be 50%, that's going to be going up to 60%. In the relics department, there's more things to come. Heavily Wings as well is going to get hit this patch. Decreased cooldown from 150 seconds to 140 seconds. And the upgraded version of Heavily Wings is going to change from 150 seconds to 110 seconds. So 10-second difference off the base one, and a 40-second difference on the upgraded version of Heavenly Wings. Not only that, Horrific Emblem is also going to have a very similar sort of treatment. Horrific Emblem is going to have a decreased cooldown from 150 seconds to 130 seconds, and the upgraded version is going to go from 120 seconds down to 90 seconds on the Horrific Emblem. Guess what? Phantom Veil? I wonder if that's going to have the same thing. Yes, it is, pretty much. Decrease the cooldown from 180 seconds to 150 seconds, and the upgraded version has come down from 180 seconds to 130 seconds. So a 30-second decrease on the base version of Phantom Veil, and the upgraded version will have a 50-second reduction on that as well. Next on the list, the one that you've all been waiting for, and you've heard about, Sundering Spear is going to take a bit of a nerf this patch. The nerf is as follows. We've decreased the damage from 40 down to 30, but not only that, the decreased damage per level of this ability is changing too, from 14 down to 12. This, however, is a bit of a change for the upgraded version. The damage is going to stay the same at 40 to 30, but we've decreased the damage per level from 14 down to 12. Oh, sorry, that's a lie. Upgraded retains 40 at 14 per level, my bad. And the upgraded Sunder cooldown has increased from 100 seconds to 120 seconds. So a 2-minute base there. My bad, I repeated the same one. Next on the list in terms of items is Death's Toll. Yes, Death's Toll, that exciting item that you're all happy to play with in the solo lane every single day. It's going to nerf this patch, and as you can see, we've increased the mana restore on basic attacks from 3 to 4, but that's a buff. The nerf is the next one, and that is basic attacks that hit all enemies in melee range restore 4 health and 2 mana on every enemy after the first hit. So the first hit you're going to get full lifesteal effect from, and the benefit of Death's Toll. The other targets in the cleave attack are going to receive a lot less. And finally, in terms of item balance, Rune Forged Hammer is also going to get a bit of a hit this patch. It's going to have a cost increase from 2,000 to 2,300 for you guys at home. That's all your items. Would you like some gods? There's no god changes. There is. We'll start off then. Bellona. Once again, I'm just going to reiterate this because it's part of Bellona's Bludgeon. We've updated the description of this one to make it clear the basic attacks from Bludgeon only heal for 33% of Bellona's total lifesteal. And then after that, we move on to Darji. Oh, Pompon's put these in order this week. Darji is next up. Couple of changes for Darji this week for you guys at home. First up is Horrible Burns. It's now going to apply a slow, and it's going to scale as you rank it up from 10% up to 30%. After that, the 1000 cuts is going to have a lot of changes too. First of all, we updated the description to state the increased movement speed. But not only that, we've increased the base damage per rank from 15 to 95 is now going to be 15 to 115 as well. And as you can see the totals on your screen there on the right hand side if you want the full total information of the amount of damage you can do on that ability. Not only that though, we've also increased the physical power scaling per hit of this ability from 20% to 30%, which makes it 80% to 120% at total. And finally, on 1000 cuts, it's also now going to be knock-up immune while channeling. So, a bit like Ice's Wind Gust there, you can just be able to continue to cast it even if you are being hit by a Bacchus flop, for example. On top of that, more changes to Darji. Trickster's Spirit. We reduced the post-fire time from 0.2 to 0, so it's going to be a lot quicker on firing the Trickster's Spirit. And the ultimate is the other thing that's getting hit with Darji this patch, so plenty of buffs for Darji. The Polao? I'm guessing it's Polao. I'm probably wrong. But can now be cancelled early. Right-clicking or cancelling will bring up the jump targeter, allowing Darji to jump down from the Polo earlier. Increase the duration of shooting time of this as well from 3 seconds to 5 seconds, so you get a little bit more time in the air to adjust your position and choose where you want to aim to. And we've also increased the deployable duration of this from 7 seconds to 9 seconds, so you can be available a little bit longer to hang around on and choose your options. And we've also made the chains a little bit easier to see for the fans playing against it, and also the people casting it, and your teammates too. That's all the changes to Darji, but we'll move swiftly along, nice and quick for you guys at home, to Fafnir. Fafnir, Cursed Strength is the first thing we're going to be looking at this patch, and as you can see, it's going to get a bit of a damage reduction. It used to be 100 to 260, it's now going to be 80 to 260, so the top end stays the same, but all the other ranks come down just a little bit in terms of damage. But not only that, Fafnir is also going to get hit with a Coerce nerf as well. The self-heal is going to come down a little bit at the top end. It used to be 50 to 170. It's now going to be 50 to 150. But not only that, we've also going to be increasing the mana cost of this ability from 50 to scale up to 70 as you put more points into the Coerce. So a little bit less healing, a little bit more costly if you want to just keep spamming it over and over again. After that, it's Ganesha. That's the next one on the list. Dharmic Pillars now deals 40% damage to minions and jungle monsters. It's probably dealing a little bit too much for our liking, so we toned that down just a little bit this patch. And then Capri's the next one on the list, who's also going to get a little bit of a hit this patch. Capri's Rising Dawn, for you guys at home, is 2, if you don't know what that is. Reduced damage from 12 to 24 is now going to be 10 to 22. So just hitting that early game a little bit there in terms of wave clear and push power in the early stages while leaving the rest of his kit low. And last but not least, they announced it earlier on, Neith gonna get some love this patch. First of all, it's the backflip. The base damage is going up. It used to be 60 to 220. Now it's going to be 80 to 240 instead. And not only that, World Weaver is also getting some love here. It used to be a scaling stun. It's not a scaling stun anymore. At every rank, it will be 1.5 seconds for you guys to be able to do that. And that's your patch note show. So if you're annoyed by how slow it was this week, well, I've got nothing else to tell you. But joining me right now is the one and only, the wonderful, the magical. I'm lying because not one of those things is true about him. Pompon, how's it going?
I'm insulted.
Are you ready for today?
What an intro.
So, we've done the patch, but you are here to actually break some of these things down because I know the community at home will be like, what the hell? And I'm like, what the hell about some of these too? So let's go. We'll start off with Neith. Why are we giving backflip a damage increase and why are we increasing the stun?
So Neith has not actually been changed since 2.5, a little trivia fact. So actually a very long time. And over the seasons and over the kind of meta shifts, the ability hunters have kind of fallen out of favor overall. Sure. A lot of hunters are really there for the late game. They get the attack speed stims, they get the power stims, the crit. And Neith doesn't scale as well with those. Okay. And so rather than giving her maybe like an attack speed stim buff so that she can keep up with the other hunters, we want to refocus her and make sure that she does feel like she can do damage with her abilities. So that's why we increase backflip damage, so she has a little bit more pressure early on and a little bit more damage kind of when boxing, as well as making the stun on the ultimate a little bit better because she is an ability hunter. The primary reason you pick her is for that global pressure, making that global pressure come online a bit earlier. Okay. You made sense about Neith. Just about. And I mean, Neith hasn't really been played too much. So.
Dargy got a lot of changes this patch, though. Ooh. Why are we changing so much with Dargy? She's got a slow now. She's got a little bit more survivability and a 1,000 cuts to deal damage, I guess. Not necessarily survivability, but more damage output. And then her ultimate's going to have better use overall.
She was a bit weak. A little bit of an understatement. She was doing a little bit poorly. She's a hard assassin. You have to get in, you have to deal your damage. Other assassins have kind of tools to survive a bit. But Dargy doesn't really have anything. She engages, she either kills the target or doesn't. Okay. And so we gave her additional tools to chase. So she now has the horrible burn slow. Yep. The 2 is now knock immune, so you have more likely, you have the likelier chance of actually getting all that damage off. It just does more, so it's more rewarding when you get the whole thing off. And the ultimate being cancelable is just a nice change of life. It makes her a bit more unpredictable. If she needs to leave a fight quickly, she can. And so that just helps her kind of play around the fact that she, like, if she needs to get in or get out in a certain situation, or if she finds an opportunity to dive, she can cancel that pal out and dive onto the target.
Would you say skill order stays the same? Would you still level 1,000 cuts first over the slow of the burn, or would you go for the burn first?
The order I've been doing has been rank the 2 up to rank 2 because that's when it starts really clearing stuff, and then focus on horrible burns or trickster spirit. I think now with the damage, the base damage of the 2 and being knock immune, you're much more likely to max that out first. Okay.
I guess the next one to mention on God-wise is Fafnir as well. So Fafnir, you know, we've seen a lot of play just lately with toning down the damage of his curse strength and reducing his heal a little bit too.
Yeah, so this is a character who's been really strong, been very highly contested in a pick. These are kind of light nerfs for him. He has a little bit less pressure early game in the starting levels. The stun damage is going to be lower, his wave clears a little bit lower, and his ability to heal, he's going to be healing less often and for a more cost amount. And so that helps tone him down a bit, but some people might not see this as enough. It's also really in conjunction with the Sunder changes, where Sunder is a lot less aggressive this patch, and we have a whole bunch of other relics that are getting buffed. And so these changes, along with the Sunder nerf that like kind of highlights this really aggressive early game, we're going to see how those play together before we look at him any further.
So I guess talking about, so we should move on to Sunder then. I know we were going to talk on something else a little bit earlier, but let's go straight to Sunder now because you brought it up. Is that enough though? Because I think a lot of people may look at that and go, is it enough? But I guess with the other relic changes, it makes sense.
Well, Sunder kind of had an interesting life cycle where he was really underpicked, and then
Sunder's a playable god?
This is actually, I tried to make a Photoshop thing that involved something, and then it didn't work. Ignore it. Anyways, Sunder,
so I'll work with
Tumultuous Cycle was seen as kind of this really good thing in early, fell out of favor. We nerfed it a little bit because some people were using it, and then it exploded in popularity. Sure. That's why we're adjusting it now. Rather than just nerf it really hard, we're going to also buff a whole bunch of other relics that we're not seeing much use, especially the team ones, the team-oriented ones, the heroic emblems, the heavenly wings, those phantom, those kind of things that people could pick up instead. Bringing those up so that there's actually more contentious space for like what relic slot that you want. And then we're going to watch how Sunder plays with this change. Okay, so if need be, you may look at Sunder again in the future. Yes. If need be. If need be.
I guess the other thing to really touch on though is Death's Toll. So a lot of people were asking that they didn't get any sort of healing or sustain off of Cleave, but we've left it a little bit on there. Can we explain why?
Mainly it comes down to Death's Toll is kind of this unique item, and we kind of like that characters have unique synergies with certain items. Like A character that can use a lot of auto attacks to reduce their cooldown works well with Crusher. Someone who is really cooldown focused like Jotun's more than someone who's auto attack focused. Destol's kind of like that with cleave characters.
Okay.
We didn't want to just completely gut it and remove it from cleave characters, so instead we chose to reduce it so that now when you're hitting 6 minions with Bologna Hammer, you're healing for significantly less. You'll heal for full target on 1 and then 50% for the rest. We're gonna, especially with Mark of the Vanguard nerf as well previously, we want to see how this change results first before we make any other future changes. And then we also gave it a slight buff for the single target users because hunters were really more going for transcendence if they wanted a bit more sustain in lane. The characters who would like potentially want to have Destol on a single target weren't picking it up. Buff for them and then nerf for the cleave characters who were abusing it.
Okay. Anything else in the patch notes you think we should mention?
No, I think we're good. I think the other ones, you can look at the dev commentary that's there available on the patch notes show when you go to the website. That kind of explains all the other intricacies for like, you want to learn about why we nerfed Kepri or the thing that was happening with Ganesh where we reduced the minion damage. You can read it there.
Awesome. Thank you, Pompon. Now go away and get the skins working.
I think I have voice packs.
You got all the voice packs this week?
I'm pretty sure unless another bug happens.
You better have. Well, while Pompon goes and gets that ready, I'm going to head over to the community team really quick. Harry's, Amanda, and Savvy should be standing by right about now. Ladies, how are you doing?
Hi, good. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourselves?
We're recovering from our Memorial Day weekend, but it's been a great week so far.
So the reason I want to talk to you two today is I believe there's a skin vote thing going on right now.
Yeah, so we are already choosing the Odyssey skin, the tier 5 one for 2018 Odyssey, which is this winter. So if you want right now, we already decided on the class.
We did?
Yes.
Yes, Hunter. So vote now, and maybe Artemis, maybe
Artemis?
maybe
Why
Scylla.
Artemis?
I tried to sneak her in.
Scylla's
but
a mage.
I know.
Savvy.
I tried to sneak her in, but they wouldn't let me.
Okay.
Yeah, so right now we have all of the hunters, so you can vote on your top 3. The top 5 are going to make it, and we're going to be opening up submissions next week for you guys to send in your concepts, your ideas, everything. This isn't necessarily like an art contest. It's more just to get any idea. So if you have some crazy
Send it.
hunter evolving skin that you want, it's time
Bring
to
it
submit
on.
So just general ideas is a good idea, and then we're going
Yeah.
to go from there and pick a few that we may be able to aim for.
Yep. So we'll be announcing the final skin at DreamHack next month.
Awesome. So what's the process now? Vote for the hunters, which hunters you want, and then we're going to collect the skins from the top 3 is the plan?
Yes, for the top 3 gods that are chosen, or sorry, top 5 gods.
Top 5?
Yes, and then we're going to take all of the skin concepts. We're going to have our own artists start concepting based on those ideas, and the final 3 will be put out for a vote. And then once those final 3 concepts are voted on, the winner will be the one that we make.
Absolutely. So let your voice be heard. Don't skip out on the vote.
Well, I'll try to. Hopefully everybody votes for the ones I want. Ladies, thank you so much this week. We'll speak to you again next week. But it's time to come back to the desk because we're ready with the best 2 individuals you could ask for in this segment. You ready? It's Chuck and Tina.
Okay, yeah.
Tina's outfit's amazing.
Oh, thank you!
I really like your old top. So you guys are here to break down all the lovely, lovely stuff.
Are you Odin?
No, I'm Uller.
Oh.
That kind of tells you a lot about our artist, doesn't it? When they don't even know who she's supposed to be.
I mean,
I'm just
there's
saying.
no accoutrement. You know, what if it was Odin without his crazy backpack?
That's true. Don't agree. Bacchus! Let's go to it. That's all I need to say. He's got a remodel.
Oh, that's not the latest version of the
Yeah.
card art.
Oh, it's not the latest version?
Of the card art.
We've got a different card out?
Here he looks kind of like optimistic Jesus.
Okay, can we show the enemy card out then? Because I'm pretty sure we saw that one. Hopefully the guys in production can fix that for us. Hey, there's a better version. Look at that guy. Yes, that's me in a weekend, that.
You're into intimate orgies?
Can we
Where-
go back to the
where in
other
that-
one?
I mean-
Can we
I
go
mean-
back to the other one so you guys can see just how sexy this? Oh, the centaur is not visible in this particular cropping.
Wasn't it a satyr? They changed it to a centaur?
Satyr. Sorry,
Okay,
my bad.
the satyr is extremely good looking.
So that's an
Tina was,
old
like,
card art, right?
Fanning herself,
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
Let's go into game and show off what this remodel looks like. Chuck, what was the main aims of the design of this one?
So Bacchus, you know, he used to just sort of have this neck well of like flappy, sweaty neck hair.
Yeah.
Where his face just sort of kind of rose out of it. It was just kind of terrifying. And so, you know, we kind of were coming up with what we wanted to do with Bacchus. We wanted to make him a little bit more...
He's manly now. Look at those forearms.
He's tough.
He's really strong.
Pouring wine on his meat. Oh, yeah.
Nothing better than pouring your man
So
in
yeah,
the
so we wanted him to feel, you know, like he wasn't totally a fat slob. And, you know, we wanted to give him this kind of cool theatric
So he's still a fat
personality.
slob, but he's got some more personality and, like, you know,
Class.
godliness
He
to
is a
him.
drunken man, but he can fight.
So
he
that's
looks
me.
like he's capable of beating ass.
You basically just remade me. I'm okay with this. This is a good thing.
You can fight?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess. Probably after the patch notes at some point when someone gets upset. So the abilities stay the same, as we can see on the screen. There's no real change to the abilities.
There was just some tuning. We just kind of did some visual tuning on the abilities, but overall, you got a nicer looking burp.
Is his voice pack the same?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
We
cool.
didn't change
I was just making
anything,
sure
fine.
because that would have been.
So it was mostly a
been
model
riots.
improvement just because Bacchus was pretty far behind the curve in terms of his appearance.
Now we saw the envy skin for this as well. Sorry, enemy skin for this. Is there all the other skins getting updated?
No. So we have to update all of the T-shirt skins
Right.
basically because they're based on the guy.
Sure.
But like.
Hoot and Holler.
Yeah, Hoot and Holler is the same. The Opera skin is the same. Those, you know.
They won't get updated because people have paid money for those and want to keep the same model. Basically, we don't have
Well,
that
yeah,
issue.
there's that, and then also just the amount of you know stuff that it would take to redo all of those to the new skeleton and animations because the character has to be pretty much all of his animations have to be adjusted to fit his new physique. So.
Okay. Well, I do know we've got card art for the Mastery skin as well, I believe. I'm not sure if production have that ready. Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look at that on screen. He looks great there.
See
He's
this?
like, hey, buddy,
Just give me a Minion 34. Give me a
go
hand
into
real
the
quick.
tower and die.
You run in there and I'll give you some drinks afterwards, okay? Sounds good. So let's have a look at the card art of the
Okay, you're
Bacchus.
just gonna respawn. It'll be fine.
I mean, it's a different dude. It's not the same dude that we just respawn over and over. That's
Maybe
just
it is.
mean.
That
no.
sounds like a nightmare.
Can you imagine just respawning and just running to your death all the time? Hey, it's in game too. I don't think we can see that. Oh, well, that looks fancy.
Fancy.
Fancy with the gold and blue trim as well. But we can move on, I guess, unless Pon's going to show us something special here.
Legendary
It's just
Bacchus.
Oh, we can see the other skins. Oh, of course. Sorry, my bad. I didn't realize we were going to have the other masteries too. There's a legendary version.
The bubbles
yeah,
are gold.
We gotta
Of course, that's what you focus on.
Sorry.
Typical Tina.
goose and bubbles.
TT. That's what I think of in my head.
Diamond
Typical
Bacchus. Even his bubbles are
Tina.
diamond.
Even the bubbles
Oh,
are
the
diamond too.
bubbles are diamond now.
And his drunkenness. So you can see his drunken state change as he goes forward as well, like with how much he walks around and things. That's kind of cool. I do like
Man,
that.
that turkey leg is making me hungry.
It's
Gotta tell you.
Putting me in the mood for that. We can move on though, because that's obviously the remodel. We will go back to the skins that I showed you at the start. Dargy, the 50s style Dargy, she looks sexy. Is this a tier 2, by the way, I heard?
It is one.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? Okay, so here's the thing. Back in the day,
When we talk back in the day, how far back in the day are we talking?
pretty far back in the
Okay.
day, before I was
Born?
guiding these things.
Okay.
We used the tier 2s were kind of like armor swaps, and we kind of kept most of the main character and just, you know, put some different armor and
Sure.
whatever on there. Now the tier 2 is just another character that just fits right onto the rig, and animation doesn't have to do anything. So we're like, how dope can we make those, right?
And that looks pretty
And in
dope.
this case, very dope.
Yeah. The best part about the skin is definitely her tails. It really looks like cotton candy. I just want to eat it.
They are happy and fluffy.
She's got
I
cotton
don't know. I
candy
like the
tails.
haircut.
I like the haircut too, to be fair.
So
Thing looks pretty good. And there's a little look at the tier 2. Obviously, there's no animation changes with a tier 2, so...
or voice packs.
All our
that's
voice
correct.
packs, we don't
same
really need
voice
to
packs.
go through those, but you can see what it looks like. However, on the next one, there definitely is a lot of changes because it is Vanguard Hercules. Man, oh man, he looks like a behemoth in that skin.
Oh man, and I've been seeing a lot of Hercules lately, so I'm sure all those people who are scaring me into run away and then earthbreakering me backwards and murdering me will enjoy this.
That
a
sword
lot.
is huge. Let's get down to
Yeah.
business and we can take a real look at this. That model looks amazing.
It's pretty awesome. They did a spectacular job.
Now, we will get into this a little bit later, but that skin should be available in the adventures, which we'll be talking about a little later on,
Yes,
the guys who
this
designed
is-
the adventures.
This is an adventure reward.
Don't get
Oh
it
man,
too
listen
much
to
away.
that. Listen to that.
So you guys haven't heard the sound effects before?
I mean, I have. I'm pretending like I have.
Oh,
because it
I
makes the
haven't, actually
presentation
I
haven't.
thought you were
better,
being legit, Chuck.
But that sounds dope.
It
And
sounds
check
great.
out the shield when he does the dash.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. I didn't notice that.
So cool.
Earthbreaker.
Doesn't he have a shield on his arm?
Oh, it
on
looks
his
like
left
castle
arm?
walls. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Jewel me.
He's got a little bit of an MMO-ish heel there. On
Yeah, it
his,
looks good. Oh, what's that?
It's a big.
All right.
I get it. Yeah.
Right. Oh, Oh, it's so good.
It's like a cross between something that would take out a submarine and something you put on the end of a stick and hit people with.
It's a mace ball.
It does look like that. Yeah, it's like one of those
mace ball.
like.
It's a cross
when
between a
you
mine and a
spank
morning
people.
star is what you're after. Yeah.
It's like a morning star
It
ball.
is a morning star ball.
What is a morning star?
A morning star is one of the things on a stick.
A morning star is like a mace that's two-handed with bigger spikes.
Like Osiris's.
No, that's a flail.
Not exactly.
All right, never mind. Move on.
We'll teach you later on. Moving on to the voice pack. I guess we should move on to right now. We should have a
Later,
nice little listen.
Other jokes, man. Okay, sure.
Huzzah! Great damage! Excellent! No one can outdamage this! This isn't my first battle, you moron. What level is your gear? You are going to need a raid to defeat me.
Oh, I like these.
Nice pants, darling. What's a drop rate? I like my women like I like my multiplayer. Massive and online.
Yeah, Tina, just so you know, the microphone does pick up you snorting right there. Did you make this voice pack? They were actually good.
Was there any question?
They were really good. Like, I'm not going to give you crap for that. I can't reach. I've got short arms.
No one can see us high-fiving you, Tina.
We could have
because
seen
the
it on
camera's
screen.
not on us right now.
But that's the Hercules skin. We'll move straight along then to the Marksman Rama. He's a superhero.
Yeah.
He looks
man.
great.
This isn't the version of the card that has the comic book
Oh, it does.
barcodes and everything on it.
Now listen, right? If you're going to complain about the card art we show on this show, Chuck, you send us the card art early.
I don't have time for that.
I'm just letting you know, okay? So, like, complaints like this. For Chuck complaining about the card art, it's actually Chuck's fault that we don't have the correct
I'm giving
card art.
people things to look forward to.
I'm just like,
in
whoa,
game.
he looks good.
Yeah.
So why the yellow one? Why choose the yellow? What was the choice of the yellow? Was it just a what color will go well here, or?
Well, there's a lot of decisions involved there. Partially, we look at what skins the other guy has and what colors those use,
Okay.
etc., and so on. And we just wanted him to look like a sweet superhero. And the dark gray and yellow was just pretty cool.
It looks good. Oh, I like those autos too.
And it gave us, you know, we also have to think about what effects colors we've used on the other skins and make sure those are different, and then the character needs to match. So there's a lot of decisions there.
Well, there's the pick me up as well. Is it still called pick me up? I think it is. For the attack speed stim, and then we've got rollout as well. I like the effects on the electric. That's cool.
Very comic booky.
Okay, what does he do in the sky is the real question. I do like the lightning effects. Yeah, it's very comic book-esque, but I guess that was the style we were
Yes,
after
that was
here.
the idea. Yep.
Makes a lot
We've
of
been
sense.
enjoying the superhero skins. They kind of go well with the god theme, you know, like more powerful than normal dudes, so it works out pretty well. So we enjoyed this.
Well, he just come with a voice
And
pack.
we didn't make him purple. You know, I know some people will like that and some people won't, but we made an executive decision to have a ROM skin that wasn't purple.
Who's the
and I'm
executive?
happy.
You had the decision. It was your executive. Be careful
was a
who you throw
group
under the bus.
decision.
Okay, always safe to say groups because then you can't blame just one. We can just all come under the high-res umbrella together. Voice pack,
right.
please, if you will, Pom Pom.
Yeah! Rock on, dude!
Scared me.
Awesome! Yeah, I'm a baller. If I can put an arrow through your eye, I would feel better. Oh, you want to get a piece of this? Well, get in line. Why even run? I have a bow that I can aim from the air. You? You're just super disappointing. What does a superhero put in his drink? Just ice. When I was little, I found a whip, a mask, and handcuffs in my mom's bedroom. I thought she was a superhero, but now I know better.
Was that you two now? Say yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Pom Pom. On two more skins still to show you, and we'll move straight along.
Is Tina like putting
Eliminator Ravana.
Is Tina like putting scary childhood moments into the
And
voice
of her
box?
own childhood, that's what it is. It's just given away.
Look.
So,
it is not. No.
it's too late now.
I have never seen them.
We've already said it. In game with Raven right now. Chuck, what's the
Look
overall?
at that.
What was the idea behind this one? He looks like a
Make
supervillain.
Raven awesome.
He looks like a supervillain to go with the Rama skin. That's what I felt
Yes,
when I
he's-
first saw this.
So he's a guy that punches dudes in the face. That's Robin's thing.
And we gave him a jetpack.
So it's his cybernetic regulation
Oh, he makes his arms move
module.
stronger.
Do you like
Okay.
that? I just came up with that just there.
That was really smart.
So yeah, he
Makes
punches
sense.
dudes. So we thought, you know, Cybernetic arms and rocket fists would be awesome because who doesn't
wow.
like rocket
Shoot.
fists?
That looks cool.
Shoot the rocket fist, Pon Pon. Come on.
What do you mean shoot the rocket? He's doing it, isn't he?
Oh, that is.
Oh, okay.
And then the molesting hands.
What?
Yeah, listen.
Now that all
Listen, you can't go wrong with molesting hands.
That's
you can.
pretty.
You actually can. You can almost always go
Not with
wrong
a British
that.
accent.
Man, this is getting weird.
Listen, you
Those
took it
hands, though, those are
you
really
two
good.
together. I knew this was going to be terrible having just you two on the show, but you know, there's no AJ who'll just settle us all down again. You know, I'm like, okay,
AJ
back
really
to.
does keep the group under
So back to
control.
the skins. You see the ultimate as well as we just saw there with the overhead kick, and he comes with a voice pack as well.
So this will be good for that guy in Joust who went 18-0 against us, and Robin was truly terrifying. I was terrified.
Woo-hoo. Good work. Brutality. No one beats me in combat. The soil is awaiting your bones. Who is next? My favorite song is Pieces of You by this really talented artist, me. You know how I like my bread? Toasty!
Okay. I think that's enough on the Raven skin. He does sound like a supervillain. Someone who looks like a supervillain as well to go alongside this, or someone who's definitely evil, is the final skin we've got to show you this week, which is the Poseidon Abyssal Sorcerer. Holy moly, Chuck. This skin looks amazing.
The one time there's no camera pointed at my face.
It's just a big cheesy grin.
So I don't know if you knew that I like dark evil sorcerers. That's like my thing.
I would not have guessed. I mean, round your wrist every single time you come to the patch notes, skulls in your hands all over. Like, seeing dark and evil void creatures would not surprise me. Now, this is the only skin I've seen before coming on the show. And I have to say, like, without even watching it now, just for you guys at home, this is dope. This is really good. Really good.
I'm excited to play
In
Poseidon
my
now.
opinion, it's really good. So, there's the base model, and here's a little look at some of the abilities and all attacks. Obviously, the purple line nuke. So it's very Void-esque of like the Hubwa skin, but it's got some specials to it.
My favorite part.
Look at that! God, that looks good.
You should see it from the front.
Yeah, you got the...
Can we see it from the front? Pom Pom, can you work some
Pon
magic?
Pon works his magic.
Guarantee you it crashes. Guarantee you. This is going to crash.
No.
And the patch note will end early.
Do it, Pon Pon.
Look at his mouth! He's trying to eat you! God, that looks crazy.
It looks great.
Something out of my dreams.
My dreams.
All out. High-res dreams, that's for sure. So there's a look at the 1, the 2, obviously, the Trident proc will give you 3 nice, dark, evil-looking silhouettes, and the pool. Oh, that looks
Now,
magically
don't you
terrifying.
do the ultimate without me talking first, Pon Pon.
You gonna talk to us about the ultimate?
Thanks, buddy.
Talk to us about the ultimate,
yeah,
then,
so
Chuck.
I sometimes participate in the concepting process, and this was one of those times.
Okay.
Just one?
Do we do it in slow motion first of all, or
No, don't
normal,
do slow
normal
motion.
speed first?
No, slow motion ruins
Oh,
the,
does it?
the
It ruins the
delicious
appeal.
taste. Yeah.
Well, let's see what people are going to be tasting on the battlefield next week. That looks crazy. I tell you what, Chuck, you're getting better. Not gonna lie.
Look at that thing, man. Come on.
You're getting more of your evilness into this world now. Hang on, how can he summon the 1 at the same time? That doesn't make sense. He's already been spawned. So P.
No, it was cut off. It was cut off.
Oh, it was cut off, so he's throwing it back away. Well, this does have a voice pack, obviously, so we should have a nice little listen to that after Odin's been molested by it enough, as Chuck would say. Let's have a listen in.
Yes. You live today. Ravishing. I am wicked. Who dares disturb my ritual? Come and meet your end. I want to hear you scream. I hate going to witch meetups. You can never tell which witch is which. This imbecile of a sorcerer was swinging his staff around when he obviously had a staph infection.
Of course it's you. I don't know why with you, Tina, but every time there's a facepalm joke or a
It sounds
taunt,
like Chuck a little bit.
it does a little bit.
What? How does it sound?
It sounds a little bit
me?
like you.
I don't talk like this.
See? That is all the skins we have for you guys this week.
Oh,
But there's a
look at the
dance
dance.
emote for you if you've
Oh,
not
look at
seen
the
this yet. The dance is going to be available. Tina, Chuck, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything specific about the skins that you want to mention before I let you guys go? Anything extras, or what's your favorite skin?
Me or
Go
her?
ahead.
Either of you.
first.
I mean,
Dark Sorcerer, Abyssal
That's kinda-
Sorcerer. We also discovered that Sorcerer is not spelled E-O-R. It is spelled E-R.
yes.
Yeah,
That was my
and
bad.
Oh.
I don't like it. It doesn't look as cool, but it's apparently the legitimate spelling.
What about you, Tina?
Hercules,
Why Hercules?
because I'm an MMO. I mean, a RPG fan. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's Tina for you.
Yep.
Guys from the art, thank you so much. There's still one more thing to bring you this week, and I'm going to go straight to it now. Have a little look at the Trial of Kings. Sorry, Trial of King Hercules, I should say, in this latest adventure that's been brought to you in the next patch.
Will you best my trials, or will they best you?
The adventures are back once again, and with the adventures come these three lovely individuals who always bring us these adventures in no particular order. It's Hi-Rez Travis, Hi-Rez Clumsy D, and Hi-Rez Bacchus. Is it Bacchus? Is that how you say it?
Bacchus, you know, like the god Bacchus.
It's not spelt right.
I think it's that's no, it's Bacchus. No,
No?
that's how I say it. No, don't
So,
you dare.
There's not much info I've seen on this adventure just yet, so I guess I need to break down. All I know is it's called Trials of King Hercules.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I guess Hercules sends us on a trial, or we do a trial as Hercules.
Well, that video. What
Broke
was
it
that
down.
thing that came out of the water?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a Hydra.
Okay.
So we put him in.
You put Hydron?
Yeah, yeah. So this adventure is obviously Trials of King Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a 3-player co-op match where
Okay.
you're playing against bots, killing bots, running a dungeon.
So up to 3 players. Can you do the solo and then join a party of 3 by just queuing?
Yep.
Yep. 1,
Okay.
2, or 3 players.
Yep.
What-
And so yeah, you go into the dungeon and you're starting out with no items.
So it's a PvE game mode.
It's
Yes.
a PvE game mode. That's right.
That's crazy. At the bottom of the screen now you can see there's a place where you guys can go find out more information about this as we talk about it here as well. Hopefully
Yeah.
it's activated and all good right now, so you can click straight in and on there as well. But so it's a 3v3 dungeon.
It's
Is
a
it kind of a
It's a
dungeon?
3v bots.
3-player
Right.
versus bots. Yeah, you
Right.
go when you start in this adventure, you will start with 0 items. Your item store, think of it more like maybe like an inventory.
Okay.
You won't use gold that you get in the match to buy items. You will start with 0 items, and you won't get items until you kill bosses, get drops from chests, and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a player versus enemy environment where you travel through and complete the quests. Do you get like quests like from anywhere specific or?
Yeah. So while you're playing the dungeon, you will defeat bosses and get items. So as you start to get items, you get stronger. But also outside of the game, there is a hub that you go to and you get quests from that hub.
Okay.
It's the town is called Hercules, with King Hercules at
Hercules.
the.
And there is Hercules
That's,
right
that's
now.
the town right there with the 4 sectors, and you're gonna be starting with the blacksmith sector unlocked.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what these sectors are all about? Is this where I pick up my quests,
So,
basically?
so yeah, just like in the old adventures, you will go to the hub on the screen. You will click on a town. Within that town, you'll see that you have the blacksmith activated right now with a quest to complete killing 10 boars.
Okay.
And as you go into the game mode and you clear some of the enemies, you will complete that quest. And you come back here to turn the quest in, and you'll get a reward, which is you can see a chest that is highlighted in green.
Yep.
That would be
The
an
uncommon item.
uncommon item.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So we've taken all the items in the item store and flattened them, basically taking the tier 1, 2, and 3 structure from our item store and made them all individual items in the item store. So you can get a tier 1 item, which will be green,
Yep.
tier 2 item, which would be blue, and of course the tier 3,
Purple.
which would be
Yeah,
you knew.
There you go.
How did you
That's
know
right.
that?
I don't know. I've never played games like this before. I'm just guessing. You know?
You
Just
play
out there.
games.
We
Is there
invented that.
secret orange ones out there too, or is
Yeah.
that just too far yet?
I don't understand how you guessed purple, but
I'm sorry. I'm just out there. Like,
but yeah. So as you progress through the quests, you can unlock rewards like the items. You can unlock rewards that are like favor,
okay.
3-day boosters. Even on the last quest available in the town for the free players, they'll unlock an Enigma chest.
Also, there's actually chest rolls that you can get from just playing this too.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
And free players have access to all the quests and the entire quest line in the chain of events there.
So we can break it down a little bit better and I can explain it. It's up to 3 players can play
Right.
as a team, or you can queue on your own and get put with 2 other people potentially, or 2 players queue together and
Any
queue with a
combination
third.
of the sort.
What characters am I playing? Am I playing whatever I want to?
So you can pretty much play all the characters. There are some limitations. I think there's around 11 or so right now,
Okay.
and most of those.
Well, 11 that you can play or you can't
11
play?
that you cannot play.
Thank you.
That's
I
right.
was like, oh, there's
right,
only
you have
11
the
to
majority
choose
of the
from.
gods that you can play. We wanted to allow pretty much all the gods we can. The ones that we eliminated were really ones that would break the immersion experience. So actually, right now you can see the very start of our dungeon crawl adventure. And Pompon's here as Arachne, just leaving the starting zone.
Typical
with
Pompon
no
can't
items.
get additional friends to help him out as always.
He's
He
gonna
has to
try
do
and
this
solo
solo.
the dungeon.
So you run through this dungeon is what he's trying to do, and then you've got quests to kill the boars or the harpies, kill
That's
10 of
right.
those, and he'll get a reward back from town when that happens.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And so when you go through this, obviously there's little camps and things. What happens if you die?
The game's over. You.
So
you,
if
your
Pon
party
died
wipes.
now, that'd be it. It'll be over.
Yeah, the party wipes. You go back out, and you can try again. You can visit the hub, see if you have any quests you can turn in.
So try and get yourself some items maybe to be able to bring him in for the next time.
Yeah.
Are the items changeable between characters you play, or do they only look on the character? So if I played Arachne and won,
So
so can I only get items for Arachne there, or do they work
the
out?
really cool thing is it's a combined armory right now.
Yeah.
So if you get any items on this playthrough as Arachne, you can come back another playthrough and choose another completely different god. You'll have the same armory. And what's even crazier is that you have access to both physical and magical power items. So if you get a magical power item, it's not going to benefit your physical power, right? But if you have one that's like magical power and health, you're going to benefit from the joint stat there.
Sure.
But overall, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's pretty interesting.
That's statue.
So you go through a group of 3. Now, if your whole group dies, I guess it resets and you all get kicked out. But if one or 2 of your members of your group, I believe you were telling me earlier on that you can still continue because they'll respawn at a gravesite during the game as long as the camp was cleared.
So if you continue through the map, you'll see that there's going to be certain checkmark stones, little graveyard stones. And if 3 members of your team, if all of you wipe, you will reset. But if only 1 or 2 of you wipe and the last guy was able to valiantly destroy all the monsters and there's no more aggro, then the other 2 players will resurrect.
I like the fact that you were saying like one guy is valiant, the other guys are just useless.
Yeah, no, pretty much. Exactly.
When you're carrying your team, they're counting on you to survive.
Travis, I can imagine when you've been playtesting with these guys, you've been doing that the whole time. I get it, brother.
Yeah.
I get it.
If you die now, the thing is, you will come back with full health and mana.
Okay.
So there's an advantage
So you
to particularly, maybe you die at the right time, but you also get a debuff.
Oh, cool.
So every death that you get, you actually start to get a little bit weaker.
Good. So it doesn't help
And
to
it
just constantly keep running people in one at a time until you've completed the event.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
You guys have semi-thought of everything on this one. That's pretty smart. So upgrade items, and then so you can get items from doing quests that you can upgrade to continue going deeper in the dungeon.
That's right.
How difficult is this dungeon?
It's pretty difficult. I would say, Fafnir and Xingchen Mountain, we had a lot of data from those 2 game modes. So we've kind of made parts of the dungeon easier for players, but we wanted to add challenge, so we added checkpoints of challenge just to challenge or check your skill player level.
Okay.
Make sure you have enough items.
Is that like a bronze symbol, a silver symbol, a gold symbol, a plat symbol?
Kind of that idea, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And how long would it normally take to, so if you completed the whole dungeon in one run, how long would it take to complete the whole dungeon? Rough estimate if you
So
could.
right now, we've been seeing like a brand new player in the match that has no items. They will go about 10 minutes into the dungeon
and then die
on a certain place inside the dungeon.
I like you how you're being very,
we
very
don't
careful
want to
with
say exactly
selections
where,
of choices
but
there.
So,
people will die.
So then, but they will have completed some quests. They will get some items. They will start to progress. They'll get stronger, and then they'll clear that part of the dungeon and move on to the next one. And then they might beat their head against the wall a little bit there, but it'll be constant progression for every player. They'll start to get better and better. So we'll see some progression there, and it is pretty hard. We've seen on average people make it 10 minutes, but then if you had to go through the entire dungeon and clear it on the normal mode, then you would probably take about 30 minutes to complete it.
Especially on the early runs when you don't have that many items. When you've only got like in an inventory of greens or something, it's going to take a little bit longer. But once you start stockpiling those items and get stronger items, it's going to take a lot faster.
Has anyone completed it in testing on the first run through without any items?
Not on the first run through.
No one?
100%.
There you go. There's a challenge for you guys at home now. The first run through.
Not going to happen.
You have this as well, see if you can do that.
I don't think they can do it.
So the other thing I want to note on here as well is this is completely free to... Oh, what's that?
Look at this.
She's got Pon, did you get some loot?
So, yeah, Pon's reached a place where he's gotten some special loot. And if he opens it over here...
Can he open it?
He
got a katana. That's OP. That's OP.
Yep. But you see it's green.
That's a really good item for him.
That's a tier 1.
Yeah, it's OP for Arachne for sure. So he can't equip it now. He has to go back.
He can
equip it
now.
He can right now.
So how would he go about doing that?
Well, if he had the correct
obviously we're in dev right now.
Item store.
But when you open up the item store, you'll see all the items you have.
Okay.
And you can, just equip, unequip, swap out loadouts as much as you want.
Can you do that in combat and things as well? Like I'm looking for a real niche things there. Like am I in combat and then quickly switch to defense?
Yeah, if you really want to, then that's probably not going to be optimal.
I'm going to try and break your game. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm like, oh, can we do that?
Originally, we were restricting you to say you can only equip at the beginning. But we found that people were they were getting items and they were like, oh, I want to put it on now, and then they couldn't.
Right.
And it's just more fun. You know what? If you want to try to break it with swapping out items and just
try and break it.
The point is have fun.
See what you can do.
If you want to break it, then go for it. But
it's free to play.
Yeah, it's free to play.
This doesn't cost anything for the average fan. If you can't afford to, you can't. But there is bonuses if you do buy the pack with the adventure, like always.
That's right. So inside of that town hub, you saw there were sectors of the town. All the quests that are there are available to everybody to play and complete. So you'll get rewards for playing it for free.
Okay.
But if you have purchased the bundle, you gain access to the services in each one of the sectors. So you can see that the blacksmith has three services available there. Oh, yeah. And you see that it costs 1,000 gold to do an uncommon item roll and 2,000 gold to do an epic item roll. So you can get currency inside of the match and come out here to purchase any of those types of services.
I can see on the map picture there's a question mark, and just below that there's some currencies down there.
That's right.
Are they all different currencies you can get like traveling the dungeon?
Yeah, so there's different ways to get different currencies in the game.
Okay.
Some of them are super rare currencies, some are more common like gold.
So if you pay for the package of the adventure, which will get you I believe it's the Hercules skin first of all.
That's right. It's the Vanguard skin we showed a little bit earlier in the patch notes.
It's a really good skin to get.
Yep.
What else comes with it? It's a Hercules skin. It's a
stamp. So the Hercules skin, there's going to be a jump stamp, which is actually a really cool jump stamp. There's a loading frame. There's a music theme as usual, and of course you've got your gold key. And here we can actually see Pon completed his first quest.
Good job, Pon.
He did
his gauntlet. So now his inventory will be with 2 items: the katana and the gauntlet.
So now he has 2 greens. Next time he plays, he's just going to be that much stronger. And then as you start, this is one of the cool things that we found during playtests. You start with no items. So you're picking gods that maybe don't scale that well or that hard with items, and then you eventually turn in, let's say you've gotten 4 or 5 magical power items. Now you're swapping to a mage that maybe it heals, and it's more dependent on magical power. And as you progress, you're like, oh wow, now I've gotten tank items. Maybe I'll start tanking and so on.
And then when you get all the OP items, you can pretty much play the weak gods ever and be like, oh no, this god's not very good.
Right,
exactly.
But now I'm playing Loki and I'm full build and I'm crushing everybody in one hit.
Exactly.
Sure.
Actually, Loki, his ult would be strong, but that decoy might be really good.
Oh god. All right,
we should probably look at that.
Banning that guy. No
I've already broken it by just saying Loki, and they're like, wait a second, did we think about decoy with Loki?
Yeah.
So
anyway, on those services, let me touch on that a little bit.
Please do.
The currencies at the bottom, you saw the one on the left was Hydra scales.
Okay.
You can imagine where you're going to get that from.
Hydra?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you might get one of those from something.
Is that by buying Hydra's Lament? Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Yes, sure. Killing mobs with Hydra's Lament.
So then you have rubies, diamonds, and then gold. The gold isn't the same as you would see inside of Smite currently.
Right.
You get gold from chests.
It's basically treasure.
It is.
Yeah.
So you get that gold, and then or diamonds or rubies, and or the Hydra skills even. And when you go back to the town, you can spend those currencies at the services. So each location has a different currency exchange, basically.
Okay, so those services will help you. Sorry, those services are only available if you purchase the bundle, but they will help you with the event of speeding up the process of doing it. But you can do it without spending anything.
Yeah. At the church, you can get buffs that are like 20% damage or protection or speed. At the treasury, you can turn in diamonds for gems.
Okay.
That's right.
You can turn in rubies for even more gold.
Can you play 3 Hercules at the same time or anything like that?
No, you can't repeat gods.
No.
I just want an army of Hercules just walking in like,
pretty
we
cool.
will be everything.
In
you know?
fact, you can't play one Hercules because we don't like you.
You can't play Hercules.
Specifically because of you.
Oh, okay. What about Odin? Is he okay?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hope. Let's hope.
But the big draw is the Hydra scales are converted at the castle. You can convert 1 for an awesome chest. You can convert 2 Hydra scales, 1 each for other enigma chests. And then the last thing that you can do at the castle is to continue gameplay. You can exchange Hydra scales for another chest that has like avatars, emotes, 3-day boosters, things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can just keep repeating that over and over again? Is it all those quests repeatable, or is it just like, okay, the first one you do with the Hydras, you get this chest, and then the last chest is like you can keep
For the most
that
part,
one?
the services are repeatable, except for certain limitations. For example, like we said in the castle, the first service will be to give 1 Hydra skill for 1 awesome chest. Now, there's a single limitation for that, right? You can't repeat that specific service too many times. But then you can do the enigma chest twice, and then there's the dungeon chest as well, which I think is actually repeatable.
Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. It's very difficult to try and explain this without having too much in-game stuff. So I guess I'm going to ask you about your favorite in-game moments so far of seeing this and testing.
I know exactly.
Without giving too much away.
My favorite, just hands down, is the feeling that I go into this dungeon with no items, and the first time you get an item drop, you're just like, oh wow, that loop of like now I'm stronger, and then I want to go a little bit further and get another item. That loop is just. That's why we play those types of games.
Okay.
You know?
I guess one thing to add as well, that chest that actually drops, right? Like everyone gets a chest there. It's not like a group loot thing. We don't have to need or greed or anything like that, right?
There's no need or greed.
Because I've just been needing the whole time. I'm just saying, like, I'm that guy.
One person hits the chest, everyone in the party will get an item. It's not going to be the same item, it's going to be different, so it's going to be interesting that way.
It's a bit of RNG rolled in there with the chest too. So what's your favorite thing then?
I know exactly what my favorite moment is. Every time we have a playtest and they get to the first boss, really, and then they just get annihilated by mechanics. Let's just say you're going to need a lot more dots, and if you fail, it's going to be a 50 DKP minus.
That's definitely my favorite moment too.
So his first boss is
It's not the first boss. It's just the first surprise moment that we put in the level, because it always catches every party. You know, they're like really relaxed. Oh, this is easy, and then they're running through.
And then boom.
They reach that checkpoint and we're like,
is it like a Puffin spawn or something like that? I'm not really giving away with it. It sounds that way anyway. Guys, this sounds fantastic. Is there anything else you want to add that I've not mentioned so far that you want to just make sure we reiterate?
There is a leaderboard, so there is that system you can go through. I think it tracks the god that you play and the fastest run time. So you're only going to get up there if you finish the dungeon. And there's a normal and a hard mode leaderboard.
Perfect.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that actually.
Hard mode.
There's a hard mode?
Hard mode unlocks after you've done 6 quests at the town.
Okay.
And so in the hard mode, it gets a little bit more difficult. Your rewards are a little bit better, and that's where you can actually progress past some point in the dungeon and then complete like the last third part that might involve
sneaky.
Just to clarify, this map is really big.
Yeah, that's true.
How big would you say it is? Like if we had to put it, how many conquest maps?
Like 3, maybe.
3 conquest maps, like north to south conquest map, yeah.
Like maybe diagonally. You know,
diagonally from that to there. Okay.
Yeah. Just put like 3 of them together, and that's kind of your size.
Okay. I'm excited about this, especially with very little. Is this going to be available on PTS to test at all before it comes out?
The normal mode key will be available on PTS.
But not the hard.
Not the hard.
The hard will have to wait for live.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We need to probably test it once.
Just want to go and double check on Loki. Well, guys, I think that's all I've really got time for with you guys this week. Thank you so much. What's your favorite thing in the patch other than the adventures? Because you guys are going to cheat and say adventures. So.
What is life outside of working on these game modes? I don't understand.
This is true.
It's really been a hard thing. But I was watching the show at least.
Okay.
And
I got one viewer.
Not adventures. I mean, that gold skin. The Poseidon
That's right.
gold
The
skin.
abyssal.
That was pretty awesome.
The abyssal source for Poseidon is going to be in our gold adventure vaults.
That is in the key chest. Poseidon tier 4. It's technically a tier 4 skin. That is going to be part of the key that you get for unlocking the adventure, which also gives you the Hercules skin, which is the win anyway.
Right.
What about you? Can't choose as a source right now.
It's not a good thing. I'm disappointed in the Sunder nerf. I want Sunder to be OP. I want it to be buffed. I want it to destroy everybody, and I'm triggering everyone in chat right now. Yeah. Sunder.
That's what I have to do with.
K. Clumsy. K.
I also want to buff Janice.
There's no wonder you're not on the design team anymore. Bacchus, what about you?
I like the dodgy tier 2 skin.
It looks pretty
It
looks really good.
Cool
for a tier 2 as well. That's fantastic. Well, with that, guys, gentlemen, I'm going to let you go. With that, that is the end of the patch notes this week. Hope give us feedback on what you thought about the patch notes and the flow this week, because we did mix things up a little bit. But make sure you check out the PTS. That'll be in the next couple of days, maybe tonight. You'll find out on Twitter and social media, as always, when people let you know when the PTS is available. But from everyone here at Hi-Res Studios, have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we'll see you all in 4.10.